Thanks, Clay. Sure, I'm glad to see you.
I gotta get you a doctor.
Hold on a minute, Clay.
Come on, you need some help.
That's what I came here for. You can start by closing that door. Hey, looks like you're doing all right, Clay. I heard you was a lawyer now.
You need a doctor.
All I need's a little rest.
You're gonna get a lot of that if you don't get that bullet out of you.
I just gotta stay out of sight till after sundown. And I'll move along, Clay.
Who's after you?
I killed a kid in a gunfight down San Antonio. I didn't want to, but he drew on me. Didn't give me much choice.
And?
His brother showed up a couple of days later. Swore he'd get me no matter what he had to do. He's been trailing me for 3 weeks. I can't seem to shake him.
Well, first I'm gonna get you a doctor. Then I'll tell the marshal. He'll take care of anyone who's looking for you.
I don't need the law to fight my battles. I figured I could rest here without you bringing the whole town in.
And now, you're not gonna get very far, Neil. Now, there's a storeroom back there. Get a cot, you can get on it. You'll stay there till I get back, all right?
All right. But Clay, can we leave the marshal out of it? I don't care how good a lawman he is. I still think I'm better off. Nobody knows where I'm at.
All right, come on. All right. Doc back from Albuquerque yet? He's not in his office.
I think he's due back tomorrow or the next day. What's wrong?
A friend of mine has a bullet in his back.
What are you going to do?
Gonna have to get it out.
Want me to help?
Will you? Oh, will you go ask Doc's wife for whatever we need? Well, the first thing we better do is get that shirt off. Here, let me help you.
Wouldn't it be better if you cut it loose?
All right. Get over your side, Neil.
Much experience along these lines, Clay?
Some. We better get this wound cleaned out, Nora.
It's kind of you'd help, man. Oh! It's gonna take you some time to get that bullet out, huh?
I'll get it out just as soon as I can, Neil. Hold on now.
Oh! Trying to hold still for you, Clay. Trying.
Maybe if I got some whiskey for him to drink.
As I remember, it took an awful lot of whiskey and an awful long time to put you out, didn't it, Neil?
Uh-huh. Guess things haven't changed much.
Well, I got a better idea. Come on, sit up, Neil. Sit up, come on. Easy. That's it. Ah! Come on, help me, Nora.
Yes, sir. You got a horse and saddle I can buy? Yes, sir.
Bring it over to the hotel.
Yes, sir.
Say, did you see anything of a stranger around here this morning? Man about 30, dressed like a cowpuncher. Might have been bleeding some.
No, sir, I didn't see anybody like that, but if I do, I'll tell him you're looking for him.
Never mind, he knows.
Put a towel under, will you, Nora? Gotta keep this thing draining. It's out, Neil.
minute there, I thought I'd died and gone to the good place.
Everything is going to be all right. Would you like me to bring you something to eat?
I'd be obliged, ma'am.
I'll be right back, Neil. Nora? I wouldn't say anything about this if I were you.
Why? Is he in trouble?
Well, kind of, you see. I interrupting something?
Oh, no, Gib, come right in.
No, I was just about to leave. I'll talk to you later, Clay.
Everything all right?
Sure.
Noah Bailey told me he saw a fella come in here a while back. Looked like he'd been hurt.
You sure don't need a newspaper in this town with old Bailey around, now do you?
You asking officially? Just asking.
All right. He's a friend of mine. He might need your help. Come on. Skip Scott, Deputy Marshal. Neil Adams.
Hello.
Hello, Marshal.
Neil and I rode together in Texas, Senator McQueen's ranch.
You a gunfighter?
Never by choice. I can draw if I have to.
Looks like you were a little slow this time.
He got that bullet in the back, Marshal.
How'd it happen?
And it was a private fight.
Where was this?
A couple of miles outside of Latigo. You don't have to worry none. There won't be any trouble. As I rest a little bit, I'll move along.
Well, if this fella put lead in your back 2 miles outside of town, there already is trouble. Who did it?
Name's Minter.
What's he look like?
Oh, he's medium tall, about 35, black hair.
Why is he gunning for you?
Like I said, it's a private fight.
Kid in San Antone drew against Neil. Neil had to kill him. Kid's brother's been after him ever since.
Well, if that's all there is to it, you got nothing to worry about. Minter's not going to finish you off here.
Thanks.
He'd take the bullet out for you?
Uh-huh.
It's kind of a change for you, Culhane.
What's that?
Taking him out instead of putting it in.
Here, let me help you, ma'am.
Oh, thank you.
You the Miss Travers that runs this hotel?
Why, yes. Mrs. Travers, that is.
Pleasure, ma'am. My name's Luke Morley. I'll be needing a room.
How long will you be staying with us, Mr. Morley?
Well, I can't say for sure. Fact is, I was looking for a friend of mine. I wonder if you might have seen him or heard about him. His name's Neil Adams.
No, I haven't heard that name.
Well, he and I separated in the trail about a week ago. I know he was headed this way. Hope he didn't have any trouble.
Well, maybe you passed by him during the night.
Well, that's possible. Doesn't really matter. Except I had a little something for him.
If you'd like to leave it with me, I'd be glad to hold it for him until he arrives.
Well, thank you, ma'am. But I promised to deliver this to him personally. It's a letter from his mother.
Well, I'm sorry I can't help you, Mr. Morley.
That's all right, ma'am. I guess I'll just inquire around town a bit. Maybe somebody saw him.
Afternoon. Can I help you?
You the Clay Culhane that used to ride for the McQueen Ranch?
That's right. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm Luke Morley. I was just wondering if you knew that an old friend of yours is in town.
Old friend of mine?
Neil Adams.
Is that right?
You haven't seen him?
Well, it's been more than 3 years.
Well, I've got a notion that he'll be looking you up. If he does, would you tell him that Luke Morley was asking after him?
I'll do that.
Nice meeting you, Mr. Culhane. These are fresh bloodstains, Culhane. Now, where is he?
Who?
Adams. He he came to you for help and you hid him someplace.
That's locked.
Where's the key?
Right here in the desk.
You get it. Now wait. I'll get it myself. I don't see it.
Right on the papers there.
About an hour, get out of Latigo, or you can talk to the marshal about a charge of attempted murder.
I don't figure you'll call a law on this, Cohane.
No? Why not?
Seems to me you and Adams would end up in the wrong end of it.
Adams killed your brother in self-defense.
My brother? I never even had a brother. Is that what he told you? I aim to get that $500 reward.
Neil. Come on, wake up.
Oh, hello, Clay.
Just talking to the man that shot you.
Where is he?
In town, looking for you. Says he never had a brother, and all he wants is that $500 price on your head.
You gonna hand me over to him?
You know me better than that.
The marshal, then?
I'd like to help you, Neil, but I can't hide a fugitive.
I'm not asking you to hide me. Just let me get on my horse and ride out of here. That's all I want. You could do that much. I saved your life, Clay.
Just how far do you think you get with that hole in your back? And Morley after you.
Well, that's not your worry. If you don't want to help me, at least don't get in my way. Here's the money from that bank job in Albuquerque. $8,000. Half of it's yours.
Better go get the marshal.
Looks like I made a mistake.
Uh-huh.
I guess for you, it's the only way. Go on. Get it over with.
Sorry, Neil.
Yeah.
Howdy, Ken.
Oh, Marshal?
Say, you seen any strangers around in the last hour or so?
There've been a few waddies in. You looking for anyone in particular?
This man's in his 30s. Dark, medium height.
Could be him.
Your name Minter? I've seen you before. Your name's Morley, isn't it? You're a bounty hunter.
That's right, Marshal.
What are you looking for?
Well, that's my business. You get to him first, he's not fair game.
If there's a wanted man in town, that's my problem.
You want to get that reward yourself. I don't aim to give it up.
You've got information about a fugitive. As a peace officer, I'm ordering you to give me his name and description. All right. Then you get out of town right now, or I'll arrest you for obstructing justice.
That's fine by me, Marshal. I can wait for him outside of town. He's bound to come out sooner or later, especially when you get to nosing around. Why don't you try Cohane's office first?
What makes you think your man is in Culhane's office?
He knows him and he needs help. He's been hurt.
How do you know he's been hurt?
I ought to. I shot him.
I've been looking for you, Gib. I just come from your office.
Get out of my way, Culhane.
There's something I gotta tell you. Will you let me explain?
Explain what? That the man in your back room is a special friend of yours, so he's safe from the law?
I was just coming to tell you.
You had me in there once and you made a fool out of me.
Now, will you listen to me?
Hands off.
Where is he, Culhane? I don't know where he is. He was here when I left. Be my guess to take the road to Bandera.
Fine. You go to Bandera.
Well, now, Gib, I'm only trying to help.
Who? Me or Adams?
For no reason, Neil.
Get out of my way.
I'm taking you back to Latigo.
I've seen enough of Latigo to last me for a lifetime.
Well, that may not be for long if you don't take care of that wound.
I feel fine. Now get out of my way.
I thought you decided to stand trial.
Now, that's what you decided, Clay. But I ain't spending the rest of my life in jail without giving it some deep consideration.
You don't have to spend the rest of your life in jail, not if it's your first offense.
Well, it ain't. And anybody who wants that money's gonna have to get it the way I got it.
Money never helped a dead man, Neil.
I ain't dead yet.
Morley may just see to that.
And if he doesn't, you will, huh? You and me never did find out who was fastest on the draw, Clay. We was both pretty fast.
Drop it. Come on.
Now we know who's fastest.
Get away, Culhane! That was murder!
He is wanted, dead or alive, and he's less trouble dead.
He was unarmed. You knew I was bringing him in.
No, you weren't. You were helping a fugitive to escape justice, and I had to kill you to prevent it.
Thanks. Forget it. Everybody makes mistakes.
Looks like he made one too many.
Let's get a hold of him. Ah, you need some professional help? Like a smart lawyer, maybe?
I might need a lawyer at that. You owe me 2 weeks back rent, Mr. Culhane.
Well,
Leaving us so soon, Mr. Dye?
I'm afraid so, Miss Travers. It's been real nice.
got a warm day for traveling.
Yeah, summer's kind of early this year, I suppose.
Let's see, that's 3 nights and 6 meals.
Hello, Eddie.
Brand.
That's right.
Don't draw it.
What's going on?
Man tried to kill me. Didn't show, friend, but he died 5 years ago when he crossed me.
All right, mister. I'm listening.
Name's Brand.
You the same Brand who...
It isn't polite to point. Especially with a razor.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything. I forgot my coat.
All right, Brand. What happened?
Man tried to kill me. Went for his gun. I beat him.
He tried to kill you without firing a shot.
He always was a mite slow. Most of them have been, haven't they? You aren't wearing a gun, and I don't see a badge anyplace. Is he running for something?
All right, Culhane.
Might that be Clay Culhane?
That's right.
I thought your stamping ground was Texas.
Why did he want to kill you?
5 years ago, Dime double-crossed me. Him and 4 others. Isn't likely now that any of them will ever try it again.
And you killed him?
Self-defense, Marshal. He drew first, purely self-defense. Wasn't it, Culhane? You saw it. A lady, too.
Oh, that's right, Marshal. That's Brand's way. When he kills, it's always purely self-defense. He makes sure he has witnesses. Oh, and a man he can beat. And that's how he's made his reputation.
I'm not exactly sure how you got your reputation, Culhane. Could be just a lot of fat talk.
I don't care how you got your reputation, Brand. You're not adding to it in my town. Now, like Culhane says, you got witnesses that Dime went for his gun first, so I can't hold you for murder. But I can do the next best thing. You be out of Latigo by sundown.
Or?
I'll run you out.
$3.20. Let's see. Gets dark about 6. One of us has just a little over 2.5 hours.
6 o'clock. Car, Armand, take him down to the parlor.
Marshal takes his badge mighty serious. Unless he finds himself a real fast gun. Doesn't figure to have it much longer.
Who is Brand?
Well, I'm surprised you never heard of him. He was sure death to Eddie Dime, and at least a dozen others I know of. Went to trial twice, got off both times. Self-defense.
Nice little town you got here. No livery stable?
Oh, yes, sir. Into the street. I'm the hostler.
All right, hostler. Suppose you take my horse there and show him your stable. Animals had a long trip.
Yes, sir. Oh, that'll be 4 bits.
I'll be around. Much obliged. My horse friend, remember?
Yes, sir.
Of course, Latigo's nothing like Texas. Maybe this is what you're looking for. A nice, quiet little town.
Well, you're not getting jumpy, are you, Scott?
You didn't come in here to say that.
Oh, no. You said it all. Sundown. Don't you know giving an order like that was the one sure way of keeping Brand in town?
What would you have done?
Do you know what he is?
I know.
He's a man that kills just to keep his reputation alive.
I said I know.
I have seen him draw.
And I've got a chance in 1,000, but you have. Is that it?
I'm not saying that.
Well, I am. Brand is my problem. I'll settle it and him in my own way.
I saw your sign outside. Lawyer. That figures. These days you talk him to death.
Well, now, that'd be my first choice. So I'll start by saying that this town likes its marshal.
Meaning what?
Meaning you may find more than one gun out there come sundown.
Is that a warning?
Just advice. Right out of Latigo.
It's nice. Good balance. When you came in, you looked at it like you were thinking of buying a hand.
The marshal's calling all the turns, Brand.
Couldn't be you're hiding behind his badge, could it? Won't do any good. Badge never beat me yet.
Someday one will.
I think you're counting on that, Culhane. Is that why you don't wear that?
No.
What is your reason? From what I could gather, you're hardly ever without it. How come you haven't got it on now? Playing it safe? Or maybe you've lost your nerve when it comes to facing a real gun.
You mean someone like Eddie Dime?
You know better than that. I remember. A long time ago, a fella down in Texas told me that you drew a gun like sweet oil oozing down a window pane. Ever since then, I've been wanting to see just how smooth that is.
Well, you just go right on wondering.
You know, Culhane, the more I listen to you, the more you sound like a man who took the back door out of Texas. Like your gun got too big for you.
And you'd like to nudge me into proving that isn't so, wouldn't you? Well, I'm not Eddie Dime. And if you and I ever face each other in a shootout, Brand, I'll be the one to be able to claim self-defense.
I say it's a disgrace. A man like that should be locked up.
You like to try it? The marshal did all he could.
And then some. I wouldn't stand in his boots for the whole territory of New Mexico. Why, that Brand got off 3 shots before Dime could find his trigger. I still say that...
You still say what?
Well,
He was just trying to buy a round of drinks, Mr. Brand.
Mighty neighborly. Rye.
Mr. Brand, that horse of yours sounds to me like he's getting a case of the heaves.
Was that so?
Yes, sir. I thought you ought to know.
Got a vet in town?
No, sir.
You think there's anything you can do for him?
Well, I don't know. Depends how bad he gets.
Well, I tell you what. If he gets to strangling real bad, you better take him out and shoot him. I hate to see a critter suffer. Seems to me I owe you 4 bits.
Thank you, sir.
Buy him a drink.
Oh, no thanks, Mr. Brand. I gave up drinking a couple of months back.
Is that so? Why?
I was a drunk.
Is that a fact? And after 2 months, you must be thirsty. Pour the man a drink.
But, Mr. Brand...
Your ears bothering you?
Thank you, Mr. Brand, but I'd better pass.
Well, it's not like you're gonna get drunk. On one friendly little drink? Go ahead. Man ought to be able to prove to himself he can take it or leave it. Folks think a lot more of a fellow who can take a drink and stop than a man who's afraid to even sniff the cork. I'll have one with you. Tell me some more about how you quit drinking, Tim.
Well, sir, I was the typesetter down at the newspaper, but it closed down. And then I did jobs for a spell. And then, and old Steve, who worked down at this table, he got killed. They said I could have the job if I could stay sober. I tried.
Sure. Did fine for a man with such a thirst.
He's had enough, Mr. Brand.
He's still standing, isn't he? Another bottle? How did you get started, friend?
I'm no good. I take a drink. I don't stop.
As long as you can still stand, huh? Tell me some more.
There isn't any more. Nothing. Isn't it enough to be just nothing?
You still planning on running him out?
It's my job.
Well, there's time to handle it another way, you know.
Such as?
We can do it together. You won't expect it.
Thanks, anyway.
Well, now what are you going to do? Just sit here and wait for sundown?
The time I said, I don't see any reason to change it.
Oh, come on, Gib. You put your foot in your mouth. There's no sense you leaving it there. Now you set things up the way Brad likes it. Now the only way we can beat him is to catch him off guard.
What do you mean, we?
I'm saying the two of us have a chance to get rid of him right now.
When the time comes, I'll do it alone.
Oh, I figured you for more sense. Go around playing hero.
You through?
Yes, I'm through.
All right, you listen to me. I'm the marshal in Latigo, not you. As long as I'm wearing this badge, that's the way it's going to be. And if you think you're going to use helping me as an excuse to go gunning for Brand yourself, you're wrong, mister. You try anything with him and you'll end up in there.
Well, what is it, Ma?
Tim, that gunman has him in the saloon and he's drinking again.
You better stay here.
Oh, it's a good name, Mary. What was she like? Pretty?
Blue eyes. She was young. She was my wife. We had a homestead back in Kansas. One night there was a fire. They said it was my fault, the folks who got me out. Mary was still in there. I was drunk. They thought I killed my wife.
Oh, didn't you?
Yeah. I must have kicked over the lamp. She was asleep. Never woke up. Never.
Yeah. So drink, friend. You need it.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, Culhane. Always having to take care of somebody, aren't you? First the marshal, now a drunk. And you're next. I'll be away.
Was it bad?
Bad enough.
What are you going to do? Clay,
It's not my choosing, Nora.
isn't it? You always say you want to live by the law,
I still feel that way.
but you're going out to try to kill Brand.
Oh, now, Nora, what is this? You come to me because you're worried about what Brand's doing. When I tell you I'm going to do something about it, you say that I'm in the wrong.
Why don't you let Gib handle it?
Because he can, Nora.
You don't know that he
I've
can't.
seen Gib draw. This afternoon I saw Brand. Gib hasn't a prayer.
Clay, I saw you with Brand in the lobby. The way you were. So different. Perhaps it's the way you used to be. Perhaps it's the way you still want to be. Clay, look at me. You say you're going after this man for what he has done or what he might do. You sure it isn't partly because you know his reputation with a gun and you want to prove that you're better?
You're leaving town, Brand, one way or the other. Now start walking or fill your hand.
I had a notion you wouldn't disappoint me. Man with your reputation had to have a backbone somewhere.
I decided not to wait, Brand. You're leaving now.
I just got that word, Marshal. Seems to me Culhane has a little more to back him up.
I don't need a gun to run you out of town.
And what's Culhane doing here?
He made a mistake.
Any argument I have with Brand is strictly personal, Marshal.
And settle it after he leaves Latigo.
Get your gun, Marshal. I've been waiting all afternoon.
Like I said, I don't need a gun.
Where do you want it? In the face or in the belly?
You won't gun down an unarmed man. Not with witnesses.
Get your gun.
Outside.
Had me going there for a minute, friend. It's the end of your string, Marshal. Marshal wants this back. He'll have to put on his gun and try for it. I'll be around.
Brand, I'll take that badge. And you're leaving now.
You're welcome to try. Go for it, Culhane. Go for it!
Thor, Kenny!
I'm sorry, Clay. I had no right to accuse you the way I did.
Oh, I don't blame you, Nora. For a while, I wasn't so sure myself.
I'll take care of this, Joe.
Usual, Mr. Culhane? No game today?
Hasn't started yet. Harry will be down soon.
Clay,
Hello, Julie.
where have you been?
Oh, I had to go up to Santa Fe for a few days.
A few days. You haven't been to see us for 2 weeks. Are the girls prettier over at the Fallen Angel?
Well, now, Julie, you know in all of Latigo there is no one as pretty as you.
What about Mrs. Travers?
No one prettier than her either.
I've missed you.
I guess Harry's missed me, too. Hard to find a poker player as bad as I am.
Harry.
You having trouble with him again?
I'd quit tonight if I could get what he owes me. But he hasn't paid me in 2 months. He knows if he pays me, I'll be walking right out the door.
How much you got coming?
About $200.
Well, you could sue him, you know.
Could I? Could I make him pay me?
Well, you'd have to prove there was some sort of an agreement. I don't suppose you have anything in writing.
No.
Even so, you might be able to make a case out of it.
Would you handle it, Clay?
Sure. I'll tell you what. You come over to my office tomorrow morning and give me all the information.
No, I don't want to wait till morning. Let's do it now.
All right.
Didn't waste any time, did you? Knowing Julie and me have our little arguments, she takes right out and finds herself another man. Going up in the world, huh? Got yourself a lawyer this time.
That's right.
It doesn't surprise me. She's been eyeing you for weeks, Culhane.
I'm going to sue you, Harry, and I want to get everything that's coming to me.
We'll settle what's between you and me with no outside help.
Let go of me, Harry.
You were on your way out, Culhane. Get going.
Harry, let go of me. Clay!
Now, you go on, Julie.
Can't you keep out of trouble, Culhane?
Me and Briggs here are having a little exercise, and he went for that gambler's friend.
He was meddling in a private fight.
Miss Reynolds is my client.
That give her the right to do her whittling on Briggs? I'll keep both of these.
Oh, what are you going to do now, Julie?
I can't stay here.
Maybe we can get you a room over the hotel.
But that'd be very nice of you, Clay.
Well, that's his way, Julie. Anything to help out a client.
Hello. I slept terribly late, didn't I?
Will you want something to eat now?
No, thank you.
Mr. Cohen was inquiring about you.
Oh, I'm just on my way over now to thank him for giving me his room last night. He's so thoughtful.
You'll be happy to know there's a vacancy this morning, so you can have your own room if you're planning to stay.
Something I could rent permanently.
It's $6 a week.
In advance.
Well, that's usual.
Well, I'll let you know later whether or not I'll be needing it. Thank you. Good morning.
Well, how do you feel today?
I feel fine. You're the one who gave up his room.
Oh, no, I was very comfortable right here. Won't you sit down?
Clay, I've been thinking. I'd like to stay on in Latigo.
Oh, good.
Just because I'm finished with Harry doesn't mean I can't find something else here.
Well, there's no reason why you shouldn't. You're fully welcome to my room as long as you need it.
Oh, no. I want to pay my own way. And I would if we could just get what Harry owes me.
Oh, that may take a little time.
I know. But maybe there's a way to make him pay without going to court.
Well, now, that sounds as though you've changed your mind about needing a lawyer.
Oh, no. I still want you, Clay.
Can't you talk to him, Amos?
You know Harry don't pay no attention to anything I say.
Part of this place is yours.
Yes, you know which part, Bill.
Tray full on aces.
Bill, I'm sorry Harry fired you. You know if it was up to me, you could stay around here as long as you wanted. Well, look, you got till the end of the week. Maybe Harry will change his mind by then. Keep you on.
No chance. He's bringing in 2 painted cats from Albuquerque. Young ones.
Have another drink.
No thanks.
When a man has a winning streak like yours, Harry, it makes me wonder whether he hasn't got more than just luck on his side.
Anyone but you said that, Will, I'd be upset. But since you've lost nearly $900, well, I guess you're entitled. Well, well. And what do we have here?
I want to talk to you.
I thought your lawyer did your talking from now on.
Well, I decided you and I should settle it.
I have a big game tonight.
And I'm not about to let him quit now.
Well, I think you'd better give me 5 minutes of your time, Harry, or I might say some things that you wouldn't want your friends to hear.
All right. I'll be right back.
See that you are.
Drinks around me, boys. Joe, another round.
Julie, something wrong?
No. No, I just decided that I was going to get my money one way or another, so I've been to see Harry. He was a heavy winner tonight. He gave me $100. Oh, I settled for that, all right?
Oh, if you're satisfied, it's all right, yes.
I'd like to pay you for your trouble.
Oh, no. No charge.
You're angry.
No.
Yes, you are. Just because I went ahead on my own, you're angry.
No, I'm not.
Well, I still feel I owe you something. How do you know where I want to stay a night ago?
Julie. Hello, Jeff. Anything wrong?
Harry Briggs has been stabbed to death.
What? But I was just talking to him.
I see what you've got there.
And now Briggs gave her that as part of the back wages he owed her.
They tell me that Harry had over $1,200 on him when he went upstairs with you. Hasn't got a cent on him now.
That's all he gave me.
Well, what would you like to search?
You better come with me.
Clay?
Do as the marshal says, just for now, huh?
Belonged to Briggs, but he didn't usually carry it.
Where'd the cards come from?
Probably knock off the table in the scuffle.
They're marked.
Doesn't surprise me. I always figured Briggs ran a crooked game.
Who found him?
Bell Bronson. He's waiting downstairs.
All right, Bell. How did you happen to find Harry?
Well, I wanted to talk to him, and I was up in my room. I knew Julie was with him, so I waited till I thought she had gone.
You didn't see her leave?
No. I went into the hall. I saw Harry's door was open. I looked in.
He was dead.
Julie came down these stairs and went out to the saloon, huh?
That's right. How long was it after she left that Bell found Harry?
I can't be sure. About 10 minutes.
And you say that Harry had about $1,200 on him when he left the game?
At least that.
900 of it was mine.
What were you doing, Whit, while you're waiting for Briggs to come back that game?
Played a few hands, had a drink, went outside for some air.
Anyone see you out there?
Could have.
Is that the only way up to Harry's room?
There's a back stairs, opens out into the alley.
You trying to say I went up them back stairs and killed Harry?
Well, you had a very good reason, Whit.
I'm not a sore loser.
Suppose you found out he was cheating.
Could have made a difference. But I wouldn't have used a knife. That's Julie's way.
Well, now, maybe you counted on everyone thinking that, Whit.
You're not going to get at me to clear her! Just because he's caught in that calico queen, don't give him the right to put a rope around my neck.
I thought you'd forgotten me.
I've been working. Julie, why did Harry suddenly decide to change his mind and give you that money?
I threatened him.
How?
He used a marked deck. Kept it in the pocket of that fancy coat. I told him I'd go downstairs and I would show it to all those men. And they would know how he happened to be $1,200 ahead. So he gave me the money.
Well, why didn't he go downstairs with you?
I don't know. Well, maybe he was worried about the marked deck. Well, maybe he wanted to quit while it was still ahead. I didn't kill him. There's no reason for you to feel that you have to help me. I've been nothing but a lot of trouble.
Well, now that's a fact. And there'll probably be an awful lot more trouble before we're through. No mail for me, eh?
No. But Judge Marshall's asking about you.
Well, he's in town early.
He rode down with a new prosecutor for the territory.
Oh, yes. Name's Talbot, isn't it?
Seems to be a very clever man. You may have your work cut out for you. You're always in such a hurry these days.
Well, the trial is tomorrow, Nora.
How is Miss Reynolds keeping up?
Fine.
She must have great confidence in you.
Well, she didn't kill Briggs, Nora.
I suppose you wouldn't be defending her if you didn't believe that.
Well, now, you know I wouldn't be.
Of course. But she's a very pretty girl, and with all that's been happening, I mean, you and Briggs fighting over her, and...
We weren't fighting over her, Nora.
Well, anyway, it's easy to understand how some people could get an idea that you and she are more than just lawyer and client.
Well, I don't care what some people think, but you should know me better. Julie is a girl who's been accused of something she didn't do. And I'm going to do everything I can to see that she's cleared, and that's all there is to it.
You don't have to shout.
I am not shouting. And some people should have sense enough to know that all this talk about Julie and me is a lot of leaky mouth tongue oil.
Green, I'm a patient man, but it seems to me like we've been over this same thing 1,000 times.
Now, there were 4 men in that poker game with Harry. Did any one of them suggest that he might be cheating?
Well, Whit Graham said something, but Harry just laughed.
Was he cheating?
Well, how do I know? I run the bar, Clay. He took care of the game.
Julie said he kept a pack of marked cards in his coat.
Well, could be. Only I don't think he wore a coat that night.
He had it on upstairs.
Wait a minute. You're right. I remember now. He got kind of warm when he was playing, and he hung on the back of the chair. Now, excuse me, Clay. I got my business to take care of.
Mr. Culhane.
Oh, hello, Belle.
I've got to talk to you.
Oh, I'm listening.
Oh, no. Not here. I'll be in your office in 15 minutes.
All right, Belle, what's all this about?
Well, I've been lying about not hearing anything the night Harry was killed.
Well, what did you hear?
Well, there can't be no trouble for me, can there? And not so long as I tell the truth now.
What did you hear, Belle?
Well, I heard Julie leave Harry. And he was alive when she left.
You sure?
Well, I heard Harry call after Julie. Take that $100 and go as far as you can. And I looked out and seen Julie go downstairs.
Why didn't you say something about this before?
Well, I was afraid that if I cleared Julie, the marshal would think that I killed Harry. Me being there and all. I suppose you want me to tell this at the trial tomorrow.
Well, I'll have to bring it out in cross-examination, yes.
You won't make me look bad for lying up to now.
I'll do my best, Belle.
Mr. Pryor, when you and the deceased opened this place as partners, was any special provision made for Julie Reynolds?
No. Of course, I knew that she was Harry's... Well, I mean, I knew they had an arrangement. Well, a lot of gamblers have a pretty girl help. I must say, Julie certainly had a way of making even a careful man feel willing to gamble.
Is there a backstairs?
You know there is.
Well, then, if Miss Reynolds had killed Briggs, couldn't she have slipped out that way instead of facing you in the crowd?
I guess so.
Matter of fact, Mr. Pryor, couldn't anyone who wanted to see Briggs have gone up those same stairs?
That's right. Be real easy.
Miss Bronson, you went up to your room shortly after the defendant and Harry Briggs went upstairs, huh?
Oh, speak up, woman. Your testimony's worthless if it can't be heard.
What did you hear while you were upstairs? Miss Bronson?
The witness will answer the question.
Did you hear anything that was said by Harry Briggs?
No, I didn't. I can't do it, Mr. Culhane. I can't lie for you and Julie.
No one's asking you to lie.
He did. He promised me $500 if I'd swear that I heard Harry's voice after I saw Julie leave.
It's not true.
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd like to request a brief recess.
Granted. Trial will resume in 1 hour. The bar will remain closed.
I suppose you think I bribed that woman?
No. But why would Belle have come to you with that story?
I don't know. Oh, she saw me questioning Amos Pryor. She came up to me and she said she had to talk to me.
What were you asking Amos?
About the poker game. I was trying to get some possible connection between the marked cards beside the body and the killing.
Those cards were in Harry's room?
Yep.
They couldn't have been. They were in Harry's coat and it was on his chair downstairs.
What are you talking about? He was wearing that coat when he was stabbed.
But it was still hanging on his chair at the poker table when I left.
Court will come to order.
Your Honor,
Because of the charge against me, I'd like to ask the court to set aside its normal procedure while I try to clear myself.
If you don't clear yourself, Mr. Culhane, you will be charged with suborning a witness. And I personally will see to it you're disbarred for life. Now, you may proceed.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to recall Amos Pryor.
No, Harry didn't put the coat on when he went up with Julie.
Now, when she came downstairs, was the coat still on the chair?
Well, as to that, I can't say for sure.
Thank you, sir. Call Marshal Gibbs Scott. Marshal, was Briggs stabbed through the coat?
He was.
Well, since he wasn't wearing the coat when he went upstairs with the defendant, do you see how she could have possibly committed this crime?
No, not if he wasn't wearing the coat.
Thank you, Marshal. I'd like to call Belle Bronson back to the stand, please.
I'll remind the witness that she is still under oath. Proceed, Mr. Culhane.
Why did you kill Harry Briggs?
I didn't.
Your Honor, I object. Belle Bronson isn't the defendant in this case. I withdraw the question. Isn't it a fact, Belle, that you've been lying through this whole trial?
I haven't.
You lied to the court when you told him I offered to pay you for false testimony.
I didn't.
You told this lie and all others because you were afraid we might find out the truth.
I didn't kill Harry.
There was trouble between you and Harry, wasn't there?
Who told you that?
When did you stab him, Belle, when he was putting on the coat?
No! I never did it. Whit Graham came up the back stairs with that coat. He'd found the marked deck. I only kept quiet so that I could keep half that money. Whit's the one that killed Harry.
Yes. Deputy, hold that man. Get out of the way.
Well, the stage is in. Late, as usual.
Mrs. Travers, I want to thank you for everything you've done.
I didn't do anything. It was Mr. Culhane.
Oh, yes, I'm very grateful to him.
I'm sure you must be.
Stays in.
Well, I've got to explain to the driver about this.
Well, we're all going to miss you around here.
I'll miss you.
Well, San Francisco's a nice place.
So is Latigo.
Oh, everything all ready?
I don't like public goodbyes. Thank you, Clay Culhane.
$5, $10, $15, $20, $25, $30. There you are, sir.
Just about closing time, Frank.
Yes, sir.
See you in the morning.
Yes, sir, Mr. Howard. See you in the morning.
Roy. You're 5 minutes early.
Yeah, well, a man with plenty of go-ahead never has to watch the clock, I always say.
Roy, you may as well know I'm getting cold feet.
Don't worry, they'll thaw out. You got the money?
No. I've changed my mind.
Well, I haven't changed my mind.
You have nothing to lose.
Well, neither have you. This is their money.
Listen, I've been on the run. I know what it's like. I'm backing out now, Roy.
Look, all you gotta do is let me hit you on the head, that's all. Then afterwards you come to. You holler your head off. You holler you've been robbed. By that time I'll be long gone and we'll be real rich.
Drop it, Roy. Put it back.
You meet me in St. Joe.
Stop, Roy! Stop, Roy! Roy!
Look, the way I got it figured out, we'll have $6,000 apiece.
You take one step outside of that door and I'm gonna have to shoot.
Nobody'll even know you're in on this. You'll be lily white innocent. Hey, just take it easy. You go ahead. You tell a marshal how stealing money turns your stomach at the last minute.
You a friend of yours, Frank? Did you plan this together?
Culhane, shall I answer it?
Well, now, why ask me?
Well, you're a lawyer. And I'm sure gonna need one now.
Let me have that gun, Varden.
May I help you, gentlemen?
You talking to us, ma'am?
Yeah, got eyes like big blue saucers filled with honey. Wouldn't you say, Walt?
I ain't got past that pretty gold hair yet.
You got a room for one man and two hogs, ma'am.
Room 8 is the only vacancy. That's $1 a day.
That'll do us fine.
Red lips, like wild strawberries waiting to be picked. Only nobody comes by and pick them, and they just curl up and die. Go to waste.
Ain't the flirty kind, leave her be, I said.
She is kind of pretty, though, ain't she?
Any place around here where a man could get a drink?
The saloon is being used as a courtroom today.
Oh, somebody on trial?
No, it's only a hearing.
Whose?
You wouldn't know him. The bank cashier.
He get catch taking home samples?
It's the key to your room.
Boone? Let's go see if they hang that banker.
Sooner they do, the quicker we get a drink.
Wild strawberries can sure get their thorns up sometimes.
All right, the recess is over. Take your seats.
We'll now resume the hearing. You ready, Marshal?
Yes, Your Honor.
How about you, Mr. Culhane?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready.
Well, Marshal, before recess, you said that the deceased, Roy Corey, identified Frank Varden as his partner in crime.
That's right, Your Honor.
Did Varden deny it?
No, sir, he admitted it.
What else did he admit?
Nothing.
Well, where was Corey shot?
In the left shoulder.
Would that shot have been fatal?
Not likely. But Culhane's shot finished him.
Your Honor, since the defendant has already been sworn in, I'd like him to take the stand. Now, Mr. Varden, whose idea was it to stage that fake holdup, yours or Corey's?
Corey suggested it.
Why did you go along with him?
Well, at the time, I thought it was a good idea.
The last minute, you double-crossed him. Why?
Mr. Howard, he trusted me. Gave me a job when no one else would.
Why didn't you think about that sooner?
I don't know. I guess the money was bigger than my conscience.
How much money did Corey have in a saddlebag?
$12,000.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Howard pays you what?
$40 a month.
Now, if Corey did get away and split it with you, your share would have supported you for quite some time, wouldn't it?
To me, it looked like the end of the rainbow.
But you shot Corey before he stepped outside the bank, didn't you?
Well, he wouldn't listen to me. I had to shoot him.
Your Honor, it seems pretty clear to me that no robbery was committed by Frank Varden in spite of his original idea to cooperate with Roy Corey. In fact, in the final showdown, Varden was the one that prevented the robbery, ending in Roy Corey's death.
Anything else, Mr. Culhane?
No, Your Honor. I think that about sums it up.
Uh-huh. Well, it seems to me there's no need for a formal trial. In view of the fact that Frank Varden served the best interests of the bank, in the end, if not in the beginning, no purpose would be served in punishing him for almost making a slip. This hearing is closed.
I've got no proper way of thanking you, Culhane, but I'm mighty grateful.
That's all right.
Culhane? I'll read this over as soon as I get time.
But don't sign it until you get over to my office. We'll need a witness.
There they are now, two of a kind. One of them tries to rob a bank, the other one gets him off. Wouldn't take my case to court, though, would you, Culhane?
You didn't have a case, Wicker.
He didn't have one either. He tried to steal money. All I tried to do was borrow some, a measly $200.
Your ranch was a bad risk, Clyde.
My wife might have lived. She might be alive today if we'd got that money. Now she's gone. So's all my stock.
Your wife died of natural causes, Wicker. That's no case against the bank.
Her dying was hurried on by hard times, Culhane. He was too busy planning a bank robbery to spare me $200.
Why don't you go on home now, huh?
All my trouble started with Varden and you, Culhane. Any other man driven to the wall the way I was would have found a good reason for killing.
Maybe you've already said that. I have it all down in writing.
Let me see that. I didn't write that note.
Well, you might have trouble proving you didn't.
Culhane, I ain't the killing kind.
Well, we'll just let the marshal decide that.
You ain't bringing more trouble on me, Culhane. I've had about all the men. She'll arrest me just on suspicion.
Let go of me.
I ain't gonna go to jail.
What's this all about?
Wicker, did you write this?
I didn't write that note. If I thought it, I wouldn't be foolish enough to put it on paper.
Culhane, you should have come to me with this. You have a hard time proving he wrote it with that letter in anyway.
Gonna hold me?
Not on a wild guess like that. That's the unluckiest man I ever knew. Everything he does goes wrong.
I'm sorry for his troubles, but I just wish he'd stop arching his back.
Man like that Wicker might get himself blamed for almost anything, looks like.
Now, how do you figure a thing like that could happen?
Maybe you ought to buy ourselves a drink and talk about how it might.
It just don't make sense. You offered me $3,000 for my spread?
Are you turning it down?
Well, no, but I've only got 120 acres here, and my spring's dried up.
We know that.
You still willing to pay $3,000? Why?
Well, you wanted it, don't you?
You fellas may know something about this land that I don't know.
That's a chance you're going to have to take, Wicker.
House ain't worth too much, so it must be the land you want.
What do you say? Is it a deal?
Not yet. I believe I just need a little time to think that over.
Yeah, I guess we tipped our hand, Walt.
Yeah, I wasn't born yesterday, you know.
$20, $25, $30, $35, $45. There you are, sir. I'm sorry, mister. It's time to lock up.
Go ahead. I just came here to close out my brother's account.
Well, he's got to do that. You can't do it for him.
Oh, he's dead. I read in the paper we left some money here.
Oh? Who was your brother?
Name was Roy Corey.
I didn't kill him. It was Clay Culhane shot
him. Said there was $12,000 Roy got you out of. I want it.
My shot only wounded him.
I read about that in the Santa Fe paper.
They're gonna think I took that money.
No, they won't. I'll give you a receipt. You leave room for Culhane.
Question is, where do we start looking for the owner of this?
Well, there's one place you could try first.
I'd like you to notify Sam Howard. He'll know if any money was taken.
All right.
There's $12,000 missing. What'd you do with it?
I admit I needed the money. Bad, but not enough to kill for it.
Like McAdams says, Varden was killed about an hour or so before we found him. Where were you at 3 o'clock?
I was at my place.
Can you prove it?
Yeah, there was two fellows with me. I'll tell you where I was.
What two fellas?
Call themselves Walt and Mace. Mace. They're stopping off the trapper's house.
Keep an eye on them, will you? I'll be right back.
I hate to put holes in your story, Wicker, but we wasn't nowhere near you around 3 o'clock.
You must be joking there. You were both with me.
Walt, where we been ever since that hearing ended?
Out at Three Fork, looking over some cattle.
That's right.
All three of us.
You're lying. You wasn't even with them two. Just them two and me at my place. They offered me $3,000 for it.
You're telling us they offered you $3,000 when you couldn't even get a $200 bank loan?
Well, it's so. Those two.
Marshal, all three of us was together. Boys, was I with you or not? If you wasn't, I ain't got eyes for seeing. We don't even know where your place is, let alone seeing it.
They're lying. You make them tell you the truth.
You boys better get out of here.
We sure are sorry we can't help you, mister. Never mind packing. We ain't leaving yet. Boone, you come to get Varden and you got him.
But with Wicker in jail, we can leave clean while we're still ahead.
We ain't ahead till I get the one to kill my brother Roy. Culhane is the one I mostly want.
You kill Culhane, you can't shove the blame on the Wicker. He's boxed up tight.
We'll unbox him. How? If Wicker got his hands on this, what do you figure he'd do with it?
Well, I suppose he'd turn it right over to the marshal.
Sure would. He wants to look pure white innocent. He'd use it to get loose. He's a scared man. The scared man runs. Then Culhane turns up dead. And who gets the blame?
Boone, we've pushed our luck a fur piece already.
Tonight there was coffee grounds in my cup, in a straight line. That's a bad token.
There's a new sickle moon. Riding on his back with his horns turned up. That's a stronger token than coffee grounds in a straight line.
Token or not, I'm for riding out while we still got our whole skins.
Me too, Boone. I'm with Walt.
Wait a minute. Anybody picks up one of them stacks, better stick with me till Culhane's stone cold dead.
Strongest token I ever believed in.
It's all right. We'll take turns watching. You take the first walk.
What if Wicker don't break out? Take that horse and skedaddle.
And we lost nothing but the gun we gave.
Now look, if Wicker does bust out, you give him time to ride away. Then fire some shots and wake up the town.
We'll be in the hotel, waiting for them shots.
Marshal? Marshal, if them fellows tell the truth, I'd be a free man.
They won't change their story.
They might if they was pressured a little. Will you bring them here?
No, Wicker.
Then I'll have to go to them. Who wants the truth about where you saw me today? Now, you drop that gun belt.
Two shots. Walt's waking up the town.
I was right about Wicker. I knew he'd make a break.
Culhane?
I figured you might be joining the posse if they're going to look for Wicker.
We go with that posse?
We go wherever Culhane goes.
$4,000.
Part of the money taken from Varden.
I told you. I knew they'd done it.
Where's the rest of it?
Those other two, they're still in the hotel. You better stay here, Wicker.
Nora? Where's shooting? There's trouble?
Your pal's dead.
What happened?
He got in an argument with Wicker.
Wicker?
Yep. We carried him into the office. We found $4,000 on him. You wouldn't happen to know where the other $8,000 is, would you? Don't try it.
Nora, get back.
You hurt bad?
Oh, he just sliced me.
Keep still. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Lieutenant, station a sentry at each of the approaches to the town.
Yes, Major. Kester and Lynch! Lynch, you stay here. Kester, you guard that end of town. Don't worry, men. You'll get something to eat.
Well, I better be getting work.
All right, half cup more.
I'm a bad influence.
We'd like to see the manager, ma'am.
Yes, I'm Mrs. Travers.
Oh, Lieutenant Herndon. Major Pryor.
Pleasure, ma'am. You have a peace officer in Latigo?
Yes, Deputy U.S. Marshal, Gibb Scott.
Where can we find him?
Well, his office is right across the street.
Locate the marshal and ask him to come here.
Mrs. Travers, this town is under martial law. You'll use your hotel as our headquarters.
What's happened?
That'll be explained when your peace officer gets here.
Major Pryor, my name's Clay Culhane. I believe we met a while back in Marathon, Texas.
Marathon? Oh, were you one of the civilians who rode with us against the Comanches?
That's right, sir.
Well, we'll need men of your experience, Culhane. What we're facing here may be tougher than fighting Comanches. Marshal, you know this town. You know the people in it you can trust?
Depends on the kind of trouble we're up against, Major.
Latigo is going to be attacked by a group of army deserters.
The freebooters. I've read about them.
They struck Sapelo 2 days ago. We think they're headed for the Mexican border.
That puts us square in the middle.
How many in the group?
At least 15.
Well, what do we do, Major?
Well, normally, when a soldier says martial law to civilians, their hackles rise. Make your people understand that we're here to protect them.
I'll try.
And if you don't mind, would you make me out a list of all the men you feel you can count on to fight when the freebooters strike?
Give me a hand?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Marshal, you might make me out a list of all available guns and ammunition as well. We will quarter our men here, Mrs. Travers, as soon as you can arrange to have the rooms vacated.
Of course.
If you don't mind, we'd like to inspect the second floor, please.
Certainly, Major.
Mr. Travers, you make a soldier's unpleasant job much easier. These windows will give us a good vantage point. I'll take this room. Why don't you take this room, Herndon?
Yes, sir.
This is my father's room. Major Pryor, Carl Borgen.
How do you do?
Sorry to bother you, Mr. Borgen.
Why are those soldiers here?
Oh, don't worry, Papa. I'll explain to you later. My father is paralyzed from the waist down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we needn't disturb him.
Thank you.
After we've seen the rest of this floor, I'd be obliged if you'd arrange to have my men fed.
Certainly, Major.
Here, let me help you, ma'am. There you are. Now, you'd better get on home now, ma'am, before the trouble starts.
Better tell him to close up.
Yes, Major. All stores got to be closed, mister. Ben Weiler. I didn't recognize the name.
Did you have to do that?
Well, he knew me. He was at Fort Sumner when I deserted. I had to do it, Major.
I got no guns, Mr. Culhane. Say, I'm glad you came by. Something's got me worried.
Oh, what's that, Jim?
Look, here. This horse. One of the soldiers rode her in. I sold her less than a week ago to George Fitzroy. Fella has that ranch about 10 miles north.
Well, maybe it's the same brand from a different territory, Jim.
No, this is George Fitzroy's horse. I know. Here. He bought this, too. I remember we joked at the time that the bridle cost nearly as much as the horse.
Well, maybe Fitzroy sold it.
The horse, maybe. But never the bridle. He was too proud of his bridle.
Well, I'll see what I can find out. Tim, I wouldn't say anything about this to anyone else, huh?
All right.
Finished making out that list of guns?
We're going over to the marshal's office.
He was on to us?
Yeah. Get that list of guns.
What are we going to do with them?
Put them in the back room. You help mark it. Tie him and gag him.
He'll be missed. The marshal will start checking, and then what?
If you recall, Mr. Herndon, against my better judgment, Dunn and you insisted on making this town our meeting point.
We needed food and supplies. There's no reason we shouldn't strip this place and move on now.
Not yet. Dunn and the other men expect to find us here. Those were the plans.
Suppose a patrol rides in from Fort Sumner.
I said we wait. Keep guard on him, Moffat.
can count on these men.
These are all the guns in town?
No, Culhane's checking too. Hasn't he come back yet?
No.
I'll see if I can find him. Who are you?
Don't try it, Marshal. I'd rather not shoot you. A warning for you, Marshal, from Fort Sumner. A little late. Put the Marshal and all the men on that list in jail. Collect all the guns and put them in the stable. Shoot anyone who resists.
Bring those men up.
Where is Clay?
Off the street, Mrs. Travers. Put Culhane in jail, too.
That's all of them, sir.
There's still Culhane. I want him locked up or dead.
Yes, sir.
Clay?
Yes. Come up the back stairs. Have they searched this room yet?
Twice.
Well, I'm gonna need a place to hide till it gets dark.
I don't think they'll search up here again. Maybe I better go down and see what they're doing.
No! I don't want you down there with those men.
I'll be all right.
Nora.
Things do not look so good. 1 against 10.
You better keep it.
I'm telling you, Pryor, the men want to take what they can and get out now.
I told you to stay upstairs with your father.
You can't blame the lady if she finds us more interesting.
Will you go back upstairs, please?
And if I don't, what are you going to do? Shoot me?
Here's Dunn. We'd almost given you up.
Where are the others?
Dead. All of them. We got caught between two patrols. 4 of the boys died without even getting off a shot.
Where?
On Bug Creek. And they're heading this way right now, about 40 of them.
Moffat, bring all the guns from the stable. Well, move! Mrs. Travers, will you get back upstairs, please, and don't leave that room again?
What are you going to do with the guns?
Try to make a run for it, they'll kill us all. Behind these walls, we'll at least have a chance.
Patrols killed all the men they were expecting, except the one who just rolled in.
What are they going to do?
I don't know. But Pryor sent a man to get all the guns from the stable. Clay?
Nora, now don't worry. Whatever happened, you promised me to stay in this room.
Yes.
Moffat should be back by now.
Wouldn't surprise me if he saddled his horse and ridden out. He's a smart man if he did.
That's enough out of you.
Look, if we leave now, we might have a chance of slipping between those two patrols in the dark.
Lynch, get the horses from the stable.
You stay where you are.
Sit here and try to hold off the army if that's what you want, but I'm leaving. And I'm taking me a hostage.
Herndon, you'll do as you're told.
Oh, now, Major.
Herndon!
Thanks, Charlie. Give me a hand. Open the door.
Get out.
Sure, but you're coming with me.
Don't touch her!
I'll take good care of her.
Take the gun.
Papa.
Do as I say.
Papa!
Let's get out of here.
Herndon? Herndon, answer me!
You'll take care of them. How about the ones in the hotel?
Nora!
Your luggage is all set, Nora.
Oh, thanks, Skip.
How long you figure on being in San Francisco?
Oh, it depends.
Not too long.
We'll miss you.
All right. Do you mind if we say our goodbyes in here?